What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video, I want to talk about my personal exit strategy for XRP because earlier today, I actually put out a tweet talking about this and it absolutely blew up. A lot of people thought it was super controversial. A lot of people thought it was spot on, but in this video, I want to talk about exactly how I see XRP playing out over the next couple months and years and how exactly that influences my own investment thesis and my own investment decisions around the asset. And hopefully it will give you a better understanding of my investment thesis around XRP. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange, Uphold, down in the description of this video. There's only a couple days left of the 50,000 XRP giveaway being done by Uphold, so if you've not signed up for that, make sure to do so using the link in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Guys, before we jump into the video, I just wanted to offer something up quick because I think it's going to be interesting to some people in the audience. For those of you who try to reach out to me all the time and unfortunately don't get responses, just know my inbox is filled with thousands of DMs. I can't possibly keep up with the amount of people who are trying to get my attention, but I actually offered up a new service for those of you who really want to get in contact with me, people who really want free access to my brain and be able to talk to me about different things in the market. So I actually offered this to any Twitter subscriber who wants to subscribe to me. Now, I put this out there for the people who want the extra information. My content will always be free here and on Twitter, but some people are willing to pay up to be able to talk to me directly, and I just wanted to give them that option. Now, I was just flaunting my portfolio gains on the bottom of this just to show you that I do have a track record. I've outperformed the S&P 500 and everything else so far to date. And also subscribing to this will also let you see my personal portfolio, stocks and crypto. Just wanted to put it out there. For those of you who have no interest paying for anything, feel free to just keep liking and subscribing my videos. That's more than enough. But for those of you who want more interaction, those of you who want to be able to talk to me on a daily basis, just know this is here, so use that as you will. So now I want to move on and talk about my personal exit strategy for XRP because I put out a tweet earlier today that was definitely highly controversial. It got a lot of people's opinions. A lot of people agreed with it. A lot of people disagreed with it. But I just wanted to take you through it and walk you through my thinking because I think it's a really interesting discussion. So I tweeted out why I won't sell the majority of my XRP in the next 5+ years under any circumstances. One, I'm young and I can afford to take the risk. Guys, for me right now, I'm really just not interested in selling any investments. The whole reason I invested in a lot of this stuff was for the long term, so I would look at my portfolio in 5 to 10 years from now and see it much higher than it is today. It wasn't to actively trade and sell out of the investments I just made, it was to hold those investments for the long term. So my strategy going into a lot of these investments was never just to instantly liquidate as soon as I made gains. It was to hold them for the long term, get those long-term capital gains, and let the investment fully mature. It wasn't to quickly make a couple bucks and then sell out and buy something. It was to build a portfolio. So my objective here is to build a strong portfolio for the next decade. Selling out of my investments is not the way to do it, especially one of my favorite investments. So number two, I'm extremely diversified and own many low-risk investments. For me, XRP is not the only thing in my portfolio. I have a whole bunch of low-risk assets, a whole bunch of other high-risk assets. I'm invested in over 25 companies, over 10 cryptocurrencies. So for me, it's not like XRP is all I have. If I don't sell my XRP at a certain price, I'm not going to have any money. I have tons of other investments, so for me, it's not a big deal if I let XRP ride longer than the rest of my investments. And that goes into number three. I have many other investments that I would much rather take profit on instead of XRP. I have a bunch of companies in my portfolio that are way more mature, companies that I think have a lower ceiling than something like Ripple and XRP. So why would I liquidate my favorite asset, the asset that I believe has the most potential, for something that I believe has less potential? If I ever need cash, I'll just sell something that I believe has less potential, something that's more mature. I'm not going to sell the thing that I believe still has a long way to run. So that's why for me, I'm more focused on making sure I hold for a certain amount of time, hold for enough time for the investment to mature, than selling at a given price. Now, the next thing is XRP's price potential over the long run is likely much greater than many people expect. And I think this is the part not many people understand. So many people look at past cycles and say, because XRP went up this much last cycle, it should also go up this much this next cycle. For me, this logic is kind of flawed because investments break cycles all the time. And I constantly point to this, but I think it's so important to understand. For a while, Tesla was going through these same little cycles where it'd go up a little bit, trade sideways, go up a little bit, and trade sideways. And if your theory was that this cycle was just going to be playing out and Tesla was only going to go up 200% before going sideways for another 5 years, you would have sold Tesla 400% too early. What happened was once Tesla got real utility and once people realized that this company was a game-changing company selling game-changing products, well, the price of Tesla stock ripped exponentially and went to prices no one thought made sense. I think the same exact thing is going to happen with XRP. A lot of people don't really understand what the true market price for XRP is going to be when it gets real utility. Now, that might take a long time. No one knows how much time that could take. No one also knows if that's going to happen. But my bullish thesis around XRP is that there is a scenario out there in which that does happen. And if that doesn't happen, I don't want to be selling my XRP before it does. And the reason for that is, for me, XRP really isn't a normal investment. It's a moonshot. If we really are entering a new paradigm, a new financial system, for me, it is obvious XRP is going to play a very significant role in this new financial system. And if it's going to do that, I want to be there for the entire thing. I'm not interested in taking profits on XRP in the first year it starts being integrated into the financial system. That for me just isn't worth it. I would rather hold all my XRP, or say 80%, for the 10th year it's integrated into the financial system when it is getting that real deep liquidity, that real deep utility. For me, selling into the first year of adoption just doesn't do it. Like I said earlier, if I need the cash for something, then I'll sell another investment. An investment I don't care about, an investment that doesn't have such a high ceiling. But when I think about why I invested into XRP in the first place, it wasn't for 100 to 300% gains. I have already gotten that in the stock market on plenty of different safe investments. I mean, just hold Apple for any 5-year period, you're probably up 100 to 300%, right? That's not impossible in the stock market. In fact, the S&P 500, the top companies in that index, do it all the time. For me, I was fascinated by XRP because of the total addressable market. It was going after a chunk of money that I thought was absolutely monumental. And it was never going to do that overnight. It was never going to suddenly one day just suck up all this money. But the fact of the matter is every single day we see new evidence of Ripple creating this reality and different companies utilizing the XRP ledger creating this reality. Just the other day, I saw this slide that Ripple is currently working with over 500 partners and growing. We know that Ripple is already in talks with close to 30% of the central banks in the entire world. Right, for me, this is not the kind of thesis that I want to cut off early. This is not the kind of thesis where I say, okay, well, it looks like things are starting to go well, it's time to take profit. For me and my own personal strategy, I just want to hold this for 10 plus years and see if the thesis plays out. If it absolutely fails, if it goes to you know what and I lose all my money, well, that's why I'm diversified. That's why I have safe investments. But I would much rather have that happen than sell right before it really gets utility. Sell before it really gets mass adoption because arbitrarily in my head, I said I'm going to sell half at $10. For me, no one knows how high XRP is going to go. And the main reason for that is simply Tesla. I've experienced this before. Everyone was telling me when Tesla was at $50 that it wasn't going to go any higher, that I needed to take profit, that Tesla was so overvalued and that it already went on a 200% run. How could it possibly go any higher? And those people screamed that the entire way up. They constantly said, you need to sell, you need to sell. And then Tesla went on a 60% dip. And those people said, you should have sold, you should have sold, you should have sold then. And then Tesla went back up another 50%, and now it's trading at $244. What did I do that entire time? I just held it. I let it sit in my portfolio. I didn't stress out about every dip, every rip. I just let it sit there. I never had to pay any taxes. And now I look at my portfolio, and the only thing I wish I did was buy more on every single dip. So for me, it just isn't in my nature to constantly be trying to flip in and out of these things. I really just don't have the desire to even attempt that. Could I get a couple extra percents here or there? Could I get another 20, 30%? Yeah, maybe. I could also lose that. So for me, it's just not in my interest to play those games. For me, something like XRP has the potential to really be a game-changing investment. I have no interest in selling that early. And if I miss out on X% here or there, well, I'll take that as a benefit of me not trying to stress out selling in and out of this thing, trying to time tops and bottoms. There are plenty other investments I can take profit from. There's plenty other investments that I feel very safe in over the next 10 to 15 years, where if I don't sell any XRP and it goes to zero, I still feel comfortable where I'm sitting. I hope this just really cleared up my own thoughts about XRP. And it's really important to understand that you have to have your own thoughts. If you're not a young person like me, right, you might have a completely different strategy. For you, you might be saying, hey, I'm ready to retire. I want 50% of my bag gone when it hits $10 so I can retire and give money to my family. And that doesn't mean your strategy is wrong or right. No one's strategy is wrong or right. As long as you have your own strategy and are comfortable with it, then what you'll find is that you are happy with your decision regardless of whether or not it's perfect. There is not going to be a perfect strategy. If you are aiming for a perfect strategy, you are setting yourself up for failure. I am 100% certain that XRP is going to go to a really high price and then crash back down, and people are going to be chirping me in my DM saying, you should have sold at the top, you should have sold at the top. For me, I know that's happening. I could care less. And I've seen it happen countless times with different investments. And at the end of the day, typically when it's a great investment, when it's a great technology, when it's a great company, I'm just happy at the end of the day holding on. Typically it recovers. Typically great investments continue to do great over time, despite crashes, volatility, up and down moments. Great assets tend to perform over long periods of time. And my biggest concern is just making sure I am in XRP for that long period of time. Now, like I said in the beginning, guys, XRP is not my only investment. And if you are curious in the other things I'm investing in, you can consider subscribing to my Twitter. Now, like I said, guys, the information on here is never going to change. This is for people who want more. This is for people who want to know about the stocks I'm investing in, maybe the other cryptocurrencies, people who want to ask me questions about, hey, what is so great about this technology? What is so great about this technology? Obviously, I can't give financial advice. It's not the point in it, but there are plenty of technical questions people have all the time, plenty of questions people have about technology that I'd love to be able to engage with people. It's just impossible to do in the YouTube comments where half of it's scams. So I open this up for people who want the information, people who want to know more about how I invest and stuff like that. So just want to throw it out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.